Howdy hostages, it is July 1st, that's Canada Day. It's time to celebrate my home and native land, the Great White North. But not all of you are Canadian, and that's perfectly acceptable. I got a video coming out in a few days for my American friends, and everybody else can just... whatever, I did a whole world tour of Europe, so deal with it. Anyway, today, you can all learn something about... not one of my favorites, not even prolific. There's just an obscure Canadian superhero in the pages of Marvel Comics named Earthmover, so expect a short video today. The story of Earthmover begins back in 2002 in Wolverine issue number 179 by Matt Nixon and Ethan Van Sciver. Skeever? But Jorge Lucas is going to actually do the art in the next issue that is more Earthmover focused. As I alluded to, he doesn't actually appear till the end of this issue, but this issue is kind of fun and sets it up, so let's dive right in. A demon has swooped in and possessed most of Alpha Flight and transformed their base into a nightmare demon zone. Haussmann was able to stay free and he calls on Wolverine to help out, which he happily does. I actually like how quick Wolverine was to go help out his friend. It's nice. It's a nice side of Logan. Haussmann is going to do some shaman stuff on the astral plane to the head honcho demon, so he gives Logan a bunch of magical grubs to free the others. Sasquatch is up first, and then Puck pops out of nowhere and punches Wolverine right in the frickin' berries. It's pretty funny because Sasquatch beats the crap out of Wolverine. He's like, I just mopped the floor with you and you didn't even flinch. He punches you once and you drop to your knees? What's up with that? To which Wolverine basically replies I ain't got adamantium testicles, bub. As you probably guessed, the heroes overcome the bad guys and Alpha Flight is saved. But Haussmann has one other favor to ask of Wolverine. He needs Logan to help offer some guidance to his new protege, Charles Chuck Moss. He's apparently the magical totem equivalent to an Omega-level mutant. He's also wearing an Edmonton Oilers shirt, so if I can take that to guess anything about the character, I think he's going to get really, really high, really close, and then he's just going to choke. Every damn time. Oilers, man. In the next issue, Logan takes the young man and they head off into the woods on a pilgrimage to find Chuck's totem. They do some weapons training along the way and the old blindfolded bridge cross. It's a training montage and it culminates with Charles having to spend the night alone in a cave with one hand buried in the ground. If you could think of a better way to discover your animal totem, I'd like to hear it. Anyway, some demon bears show up, but Charles perseveres and removes his hand to discover his totem. A worm. Now, I'm not sure if he was expecting a wolf or an eagle, but I mean, he buried his hand in dirt, so he kind of limited his own options. Well, he's kind of like, a worm? What? Wolverine is like, no, dude, a worm. That is awesome. That is powerful. They are powerful earth movers.
He said it! He said it!
And now at the end of the issue, Chuck Moss is one with nature or whatever. Jump forward about 1 year to X-Men Unlimited number 45. Guardian gets hurt, Haussmann senses it and runs off to help, while Chuck asks if he can go to the Canadiens game. He's a hockey fan. Alpha Flight deals with the issue without Earthmover's help, and then James and Heather Hudson have a baby. Mostly she had the baby. But that very same month, by that very same writer, Chuck Austin gives us Uncanny X-Men number 421. Alpha Flight storm into the Xavier Institute demanding they hand over all of the children. They have a joint order from the Prime Minister of Canada and the Governor of New York to remove all of the kids in the Institute because they could be in danger. And Earthmover is with them this time. I just find it really odd that, like I said, in the same month by the same writer, you have Guardian nearly die and he gets, healed by Angel's healing blood, because Angel had healing blood at the time. And then, that same month, Alpha Flight is, gonna throw down with the X-Men. So, Chuck Austin, Circle of Shame. Get used to it, Chucky. The whole thing stemmed from Sammy the Squid Boy, who was a Canadian mutant student who is friends with the Juggernaut. Obviously, a fight begins, and as all hell breaks out, we finally get to see what Earthmover can do. He creates some giant earth golems for Juggernaut to smash. But then Iceman smashes Earthmover's groin in with an icicle, and we don't see him again in the issue. But if you're wondering, lawyers are called in, there's blackmail, the governor, blah, 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 they only take Sammy. And about a year after that, we get Scott Lobdell's take on Alpha Flight, which is actually, really underrated, and I quite like it, one of my favorite runs on Alpha Flight. And maybe next year for Canada Day, I'll talk about Major Maple Leaf. But in that series, the original Alpha Flight team goes missing, so Sasquatch forms a new team to find them. And when they do find the originals, they're stuck on an alien ship, and Earthmover is with them. They've also been brainwashed and there's a fight, but ultimately the ship is full of Plodex eggs and the original Alpha Flighters agree to fly the eggs back to their home planet. I have to assume Earthmover went with them, but the artist might have just forgotten to put him in there. What happened to him from there is unknown. Nobody's really said it yet. He wasn't with the Avengers when Brian frickin' Bendis had them all killed off in Avengers number 16, and he's never shown up anywhere since, so one can safely assume that he's probably off on the Plodex planet raising those kids for whatever reason. Or he came back and just left Alpha Flight. Nobody really knows. I really don't think we're gonna know. have you even heard of Earthmover before today? I only happened upon him because I was like reading an encyclopedia one day. I was like, oh, Earthmover. And I noticed he had the Oilers logo. I thought that was kind of neat. But he was a mediocre character, didn't really do anything. We only get to see him. He appeared in 8 issues, and we only saw him use his powers in one of them. And that was Chuck Austin, who kind of famously did his own thing. So I don't know if the Earthmover was... Nobody ever actually called him Earthmover until the Chuck Austin issues either. He was an Earthmover. So Chuck Austin's probably like, oh, his name is Earthmover, he moves Earth, I guess. But maybe that's what was always intended, because his name is Chuck Moss. Either way, happy Canada Day if any of you are Canadian, and just have a happy Tuesday if you're not. Stay Hossy, folks, and like and subscribe and everything. Goodbye.